I got a question for Bucks Nation. Do you still believe in Baker Mayfield? Do you still believe in Todd Bowles? Do you still believe in this entire Tampa Bay Buccaneers team? Because after today's troubling loss to the Atlanta Falcons, you're seeing more and more people jump off the bandwagon. And it could be for any one of those three things I just mentioned. But I think they go in this order. I think the belief in Todd Bowles is the lowest of the three. You're seeing a lot of people today on social media, and I know social media is very reactionary, and it is the vocal minority. And you don't have to litter me with stats and what he's done the last couple of years. I get it. I understand. I am just providing you with the feedback that I see on social media. And out of those three things, Baker, Bowles, and the Bucks, the fans out there have the least amount of faith in Todd Bowles. They're looking at this team struggling to contain opposing offenses and then directly looking at their head coach going, "You're supposed to be a defensive guy and you can't stop a nosebleed. You can't stop Kirk Cousins in the air. You can't stop Bijan Robinson on the ground. What are we doing here?" Eventually, that's how coaches lose their job. And I'm not calling for Todd's job, but the defense the last 4 weeks has been putrid. It has gotten progressively worse. And I understand how tough the schedule is, but my goodness, if you're going to lose, you can't lose the way you did today and the way you've done the last couple of weeks. Baker Mayfield. People are looking at Baker and seeing the stat line today, throwing over 300 yards and going, okay, he fought to the bitter end. But I know there is a contingent of the fan base looking at Baker going, a lot of interceptions, Baker. Too many throws into double coverage. Trying to force the ball into areas where it's not really a smart decision at all. You need your quarterbacks to make good decisions and to be accurate when they throw the football. And that's not what we've seen from Baker Mayfield over the last couple of weeks. Flea flicker today, he throws the ball to Ryan Miller, covered by Jesse Bates. You got a guy that hasn't even been on the 53-man roster all year long, and he's going up against an all-pro safety, and you think that's a good decision? It's not. And that's why there are people that have the reservations. Like, is Baker Mayfield the guy that can truly lead the Buccaneers to their third Super Bowl championship? Now, I love the heart. You can't question the grit and the tenacity. He's a freaking leader. He's an awesome guy. But we're talking about just on the field, getting the job done. You can't turn the football over. And when you're without Godwin and you're without Evans, the margins are so fine. It comes down to the little things. And I thought it was paramount that Baker took care of the football against the Falcons. And he didn't do that. Two costly turnovers. Those interceptions were just absolute killers. You can't win like that. You can't win like that. And then lastly, the Buccaneers team as a whole. Some people saying the season is done, whether it's because of how many games they've lost recently or the injuries to Evans and Godwin. But fans are looking at this year and wondering if this isn't like Groundhog's Day. Isn't this the same story that we saw in 2023 when they jumped out to that 3-1 record and then they just really struggled in the middle of the season and people were wondering if Todd Bowles was even going to be here at the end of 2023. But people are wondering, like, why does it have to be like this again? There's enough good players on that defense and there's enough players on offense. I mean, listen, you scored 26 points today. That should be enough to win the game. I thought Liam Cohen did a really good job. I thought Kate Otten did a tremendous job. I thought the running backs outside of the fumble by Rashad White gave it everything that they had. But there's still pieces missing when it comes to this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. So I ask you, Bucs Nation, do you still believe in Baker? Do you still believe in Todd Bowles? Do you still believe in this team as a whole that they can turn this around like they did last year?